Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. My name's Fiona. I'm the principal at Wimbledon School of English, for those of you who don't know me. And thank you for coming to join us today to give you an update on all of our online courses. Let me just tell you who we've got with us. So first of all, we've got Adam, who's working on all the slides for us here. Adam's our Juniors Operation Manager. And then we have June. I'm just going down my panel, so it might not be the same order. June is our sales manager, and she'll be answering all of your questions in the chat room. And we've also got Joe, who is our director of studies. And we should have Sjors joining us shortly as well. He's our sales and digital communications officer, and he'll also be able to answer some of your questions for you. So if you do have any questions as we're talking, then please do just put them in the chat box, and we can either answer them at the end of the information that we're going to give, or we can answer them as we go along. So just to give you a little update then, we're talking about online courses today, and if we can just go to the second slide, Adam. There we are, there's our online courses. And at WSE, our online courses have been really successful all through this year. It's been one of the success stories for us of the pandemic, and it being so positive through the bad times that our industry has had. We've found that we've had lots of students joining. These are not old students pre-COVID. These are students that are registering for all sorts of courses, and that's what we want to tell you about today. So if we can move on to the third slide, Adam, what makes us different? Why choose WSE online? So we're still going strong. We're still the #1 school, and we're the #1 school out of nearly 500 schools, I believe now. We've been the #1 school since 2014. And with online, we've got proven experience of teaching online. We've been teaching online face-to-face live classes for the last 2.5, nearly 3 years now, when we've been teaching medical English and OET to healthcare professionals. So when online came into play in March for us, when we had to move everything online, we were already equipped, we were all trained up, and we knew what we were doing. And we put together a whole new cohort of courses, especially for the online student. We've got experienced professional teachers. These are our permanent teachers, and I'll tell you a little more about our teachers in a second. But we've got 14, I believe, 14 teachers working with us at the moment, and they've been working throughout the year on the online provision. Now, one thing that I will talk about a little more later, but I'm guaranteed the students get a truly international experience. I'll show you our nationality mix shortly. But nationalities that we've never seen in the school have popped their heads up to come and join us online. And it's been a real pleasure to offer classes to so many students from all over the world. I think we've had 47 different nationalities with us. And so when students join us, it's unlike a course maybe in their own country where they would possibly only be with students of their own nationality and own language. When they're studying at WSE Live Online, they are making friends and they're meeting students from all over the world. It really is an international experience. And that carries into the social program that we offer. So there's a lively online social program, and that's organised by Adam. So congratulations to Adam, it's a real success. And students do all sorts of things. I believe today they're actually going to be making cakes with one of our teachers, making scones. So a type of British traditional cake. I know some people will be cringing, scone is not a cake, but that's what they're doing this afternoon. And it's such a joy to see the students again tuning in from all over the world to do things like make cakes, have a karaoke competition, do a dancing competition, do a quiz, have a chat even. There are chat rooms for them as well. So again, it's a really international interactive experience that they have. And then if we can move on, Adam, to the fourth slide here, teaching. Because as I said, the teachers are all our permanent members of staff. Many of them have been with us for many years. and they're all dedicated. I mean, real credit to our teachers. You know, they're really going above and beyond at the moment for the students online, and that is reflected in the feedback and also the fact that students book and rebook. We have a 30%, possibly more, rebooking rate at the moment. So it comes to Friday and students are booking for the following week. They've enjoyed their class so much. So real dedicated professional teachers. Most of them hold diplomas, which is the highest teaching qualification that they can have. With the classes, students have regular one-to-one tutorials, even more important than ever. This is the same as they would have face-to-face. They talk to their teachers regularly about their learning goals and also their welfare and well-being at this time. And of course, we're measuring progress to make sure that they are learning and they are achieving the goals that they want to within their English learning. So weekly progress tests and of course the certificate at the end of the course. So that's all about the teaching, but don't just hear it from me. Adam is now going to share with us a little clip, and this is one of our teachers, Helen Dennis-Smith, who is teaching one-to-one. We've had quite a lot of one-to-ones from March as well, and again these keep booking and rebooking. The one-to-one students seem to be really enjoying the time with their teacher. So we're going to see Helen Dennis-Smith now, just doing a minute of teaching online. Just let Adam get that ready for you. And here we are.
Okay, so is there anything else that you would think about when you're looking for a hotel for business purposes? Anything else that you would want to know about?
Bed.
The bed. Yeah, that was one reason I chose one of those pictures, yes. Okay, the bed. Why would that be really important for you?
Yeah, you came at 11 p.m. being totally exhausted. Yeah, well, after tough meetings and presentations and whatever. That's a dream in your head is July and a king size bed. Yeah, it's just to sleep well. Yeah.
Okay, good. Any more that you would want to know about?
Maybe silence.
So noise, yeah.
Noise,
yes,
yeah.
Noise generally, maybe noise. So what would you think about in terms of noise?
Maybe not to choose a room just by the window, which is go to the windows by the highways, high streets. So because of the noise.
So you'd be thinking about traffic noise, for example?
Traffic noise, yes, traffic noise.
And
neighbors noise.
Noise from, would that be internal or external noise, the neighbours? Are you thinking of the street level noise or neighbours inside the hotel?
Neighbours inside the hotel.
Yeah, so other guests. Yes.
Other guests.
Yeah. Good. Okay. I've got one more I would want to be absolutely sure about in my mind.
Yeah.
Internet. It should be a given. But
yeah. I mean, even now, yeah. So you don't really think because this is just everywhere.
No.
It's as a default. So every place you stay, there are Wi-Fi.
Oh. Yeah. There should be Wi-Fi, but is it good enough? Is it good?
Lovely. So just a little taste there of Helen and her student arranging their hotels. So I'm going to hand over now for a few minutes to Jo, who's going to give you some details on some of the courses online this year and next year.
Hi there, guys. So I think the first thing to talk about is the flexibility of the timetable. Obviously, when we're in school, we operate just in the UK timetable, but with the online classes, we're trying to reach students all around the world. So we've tried to introduce a much more flexible timetable so that there's something for everybody. So our morning classes run in the morning in UK time. But if you can't manage to make those, we also have part-time evening courses, which are on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, but also part-time morning courses. So depending on your time zone, there's always a class that you're able to join. We also are doing Saturday classes from next year. So if you're busy during the week and you can't make it during the week, you can always join the Saturday class instead. So lots of opportunities with lots of different time zones. Now the classes themselves, of course, our main course is General English. That's always been our most popular class. That's starting any Monday, and that runs from 9:15 till 12 on UK time. With these classes and all of our full-time courses, students get a course book, a digital course book. So it's just like being in a real class where they have a book to follow. They can complete the exercises along with the teacher. But they also do lots of extra, more fun, interactive, dynamic work. And we really focus on emphasizing the communication and the interaction, because that's what people really want in this kind of course. Then we also have our 21st century skills, which are really important. And that's something that we try and build into all of our courses. So we really want to make sure that students are prepared for the modern world. So not just for English, but in other skills as well. For example, critical thinking, public speaking, time management, communication skills, and all of those necessary skills to really do well in the modern international world. Of course, we don't just have general English classes, we have exam preparation. Our most popular course is IELTS for the exam preparation. And this is, of course, because people still need IELTS, even in these crazy times in the pandemic, when we're working online, we're working from home, people will still need to get their IELTS to get into university, to get visas, to start working. And so our IELTS program is ongoing, and you can join any Monday. We also have other exam courses. So we have our Cambridge exam classes, the B2 First and the C1 Advanced. And these are more specialist preparation programs for 4 weeks, and they're running in February. And then for a more specialized course, we have our medical English with OET preparation. But Fiona's going to talk a little bit more about that. When we started doing the classes, we had slightly longer courses, and we found through our research and through our experience that actually a long screen time is not good for students. It's not good for teachers. It doesn't enhance the learning experience. So we slightly reduced the length of the classes, but we also introduced our blended learning element. And this is so important because it encourages the students to maintain their study, not just during their class time, but outside of class time. So they're given projects, they might be collaborative, they might be working alone or with other students, they might be preparing a presentation, doing some kind of research, lots of other projects that we've been doing. And this really enhances it maximizes the education that they get, because they're studying in class, but they're also doing these extra activities which the teacher monitors and which help them to develop their language. The other aspect we have of blended learning is eWimbledon, and this is our online learning platform where there are over 300 hours of extra practice material that students can do. We have authentic English with newspapers, we have grammar practice, we have exam practice. Whatever the student needs to do, they can work on with eWimbledon. And the great thing about it is it prepares a personalized learning plan for you. So whatever your level, whatever your needs, eWimbledon will work with your needs to create a personalized learning plan for you, which is fantastic. And it's so useful for students to have that facility where they can study anytime they like. And even better, you can use it for 3 months after you leave. So even when you're not having classes with us, you can still continue studying with us using eWimbledon. So we really feel like our online courses have just as much quality as our in-school classes, which have been so successful in the past. We have the same teachers with the same level of skill. They've really honed their skills this year, so they're excellent at teaching online. Some of them prefer teaching online. They really enjoy the flexibility, the interaction you can have, the different tech tools that they can use, and they're really getting into all the different ways that we can enhance learning by teaching online. So we've had fantastic feedback. The students have really enjoyed it. They've all said how much it feels like a real class because of all the interaction, because we can use breakout rooms where they can talk just with each other without the teacher in small groups. They can have group discussions. They can exchange messages with the teacher in the chat function. So it really does give an all-round learning experience. So I really hope that the students you've had with us have enjoyed their classes, and I'm sure that the students you send to us will enjoy them just as much.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thanks a lot, Jo. And as Jo said, you know, the feedback it's been overwhelming for us. Hopefully, if you have sent us students, you found that yourself. I have not seen one negative piece of feedback all through this teaching online. And, you know, real credit to all the hard work of the teachers and the students, you know, the dedication that they've put in, you know, working away from their bedrooms all over the world and here in the UK. So Jo's given you an outline of some of the courses. We do have professional courses, and Jo touched upon it. We are running from January to June. These are the courses that we're giving you details about at the moment, and Sjors or June will send you our January to June 2021 brochure after this. But we're running a medical English and OET course. We've got one running in February and one running in March. OET is the occupational English test, which is the examination for healthcare professionals. And this has been really popular online and face-to-face during the pandemic since March. I mean, it's been popular before, but more and more doctors, nurses, care workers, key workers have been signing up to do this 1 week or 2 week course. So really, really successful. So if that's not a market that you're looking at, there are students out there that are looking for that course. We can do it bespoke, so we can organise at a time for a small group that you might have, or they can sign up to the dates that we have in our brochure. So that's one of the professional courses. What I would also like to bring to your attention is the fact that we can do bespoke courses. We can offer closed groups as well as mini stay. Some of you might have sent mini stay in the past, face to face. We can do that online as well. But the bespoke courses, again, there may be areas that you haven't tapped into quite as much. In terms of, Jo mentioned soft skills, we've had a contract through the summer with a local company, and they wanted soft skills business training once a week. And they did that online. They're just down the road from us in Wimbledon, but they studied online with us, and that again was very successful. We've had a group of bankers who have been doing financial English and Cambridge examination preparation with us. They joined up for 8 weeks originally. They're doing full time. They usually come face to face. They signed up online and they tried it. They enjoyed it so much that the company came back and signed up for another 12-week full-time course. So again, really intensive courses where students do see good progress. So if you're interested in any kind of closed group or international class group course, please do get in touch. We can send you a quotation for that and put everything in place to welcome your students online. So those are our professional courses and our closed groups. We also have teacher training, and again, some of you may be more familiar with teacher training that we offer than others. And following this webinar, we will send you our teacher training brochure for next year as well. And our courses that we have online, we have a Trinity Cert TESOL course, and this is the certificate that teachers need to do what we do. So if they want to be qualified as ELT, English language teachers, then they can sign up to do either a part-time or a full-time Trinity course. And from January, we have a part-time course running online. So if you want more details about that, then let us know. It's a great course, and my goodness, you know, if you don't know, it's a great profession to be in, and one that we're all qualified in as well. So if you are interested in teacher training, get in touch. We also have other courses, including Saturday online courses, where we're running a modular teachers refresher course and a modular academic management course. So if you have contacts in school, if you are a school yourself, this might be something that's interesting to you. So those are our professional courses and our teacher training. I'm going to hand over to Adam, who will briefly outline what junior provision we have for pre-summer for January to June next year. So Adam.
That's right. Thank you, Fiona. As you say, we are offering a whole load of different things from next year. what happened was our online summer camp was actually incredibly successful. We were offering general English, but also young leaders, some specialist skills workshops and different activities. So we have split that up a little bit and we are offering it throughout the week. We are going to have classes on Tuesday afternoons, Thursday afternoons and Saturday mornings. Our Tuesday afternoons are our specialist skills workshops, but we have adapted our specialist skills workshops from our summer school to be more online and a continuous course. The first one that we will have, for example, will be smart writing for the 2020s, learning how to get the reader's attention or editing or these sorts of things. We'll also be offering filmmaking and social media a little bit later, debating presentations and public speaking, which is normally a very popular workshop. We'll also be offering that. On Thursdays, this is 5 o'clock until 6:50 UK time. All of these courses involve a 10-minute break and quite a lot of movement within the class because for the kids especially, it's very important to get them up and moving around. So on Thursdays, we are also looking at global issues and universal challenges, things like thinking globally but acting locally, social responsibilities, ways of handling change, all in English, not specifically grammar focused, but using English, using vocabulary in more real life situations. And then on Saturday mornings, we will be offering our Young Leaders course, which is 3 lessons, that's 7:30 until 10:30 UK time. And this is ways to thrive in the modern world and soft skills, a little bit like Fiona and Joe have been talking about, but aimed at children from 11 to 17. So things like team working, time management, critical thinking, they're all involved in our Young Leaders Saturday course.
Lovely, thank you very much, Adam. So I think that's a very brief outline of our courses, but I wonder, Adam, could we just go back to the slides? We've got a summary of the courses here that we can just put up on the screen for you. And again, of course, if anyone wants any more information on any of these courses, then do get in touch. We're happy to have, I mean, we're all so familiar with Zoom now, aren't we? It's lovely to see everyone on Zoom, so do let us know if you'd like a follow-up meeting. But here are the courses that we've outlined. And I did say that I was going to tell you a little about the nationality mix. If we can go to the next slide as well, Adam, please. Now you can see here the writing's quite small, but that's because there were so many nationalities from March to November, and we had to keep the writing small to fit them all in. I mean, look at, I don't know if you can find your country there, but you know, what a range of nationalities. From the Philippines to Libya to Venezuela, Italy, China, Brazil, Switzerland, and then over here, Ukraine, Romania, Ethiopia, my goodness. I mean, you can imagine what an international experience your students are getting joining these classes. It's, you know, it's wonderful that they get this. So do, if you're not sure, then do sign up with us. What I would also say with our courses and with our nationalities is we are running face-to-face at the moment as well in school. We have 50 students, 50 students in the school at the moment. And these courses can also be run in a hybrid fashion. So if you do have a student who wants to come to the UK, maybe they need to quarantine first, or maybe they want to just join the full-time course, they can join on screen. So if they prefer an even longer course, they can do hybrid. So we do have students that come in quarantine and they study before joining face-to-face. So they've got that option as well as all of our online options. And if we can just go to the next slide, Adam, this gives us a summary. We can send you this presentation. It's small, but we can send this to you after the webinar. So this just outlines for you Wimbledon, as Joe touched upon. So this is a link that students get to our online platform. It's free for all students 3 months before until 3 months after their course. And so they can start studying before they join with us. And that's the same for our online, our hybrid, and our face-to-face courses. And if I can move back to Adam again, the next slide is our social program to give you a little taste of what the online social program looks like.
That's right. Thank you, Fiona. So these are a couple of social programs from the last couple of weeks, and you can see that we try to involve the students as much as possible. So we have game shows. The game shows have actually been very popular, and playing different games with language. We do try to keep a British focus on these things. So we might have presentations. For example, you can see one about not just fish and chips, talking about British food, or Jack the Ripper, or one of our teachers who lives by the sea. We talked a little bit about her life. So we try and vary these week by week. We've also, as you can see, been putting on homework clubs in case the students just want to be together and work together. So we give them space to do that as well. And you can see on the bottom of our social programs that there are also some suggestions for things that they can do online, or some of the students that are here, we also give them suggestions as well.
Lovely. And Jo, could you just mention a little about exams that students can take? You mentioned IELTS in Cambridge.
Yes, absolutely. So of course, with the pandemic, with people not able to travel and some exam centres not being open, students have struggled to be able to prove their language and prove their skills. But luckily, we can offer a solution to that. So students can take the language cert exam with us, and they can take that online. So from the comfort of their own home, without having to travel to an exam centre, or certainly to come to the UK, they can still take an exam to prove their level. And these exams are valid for university entrance, for visas, and for many other purposes. So that's the language cert exam, and they can buy a token from us, which they redeem in order to take the exam online at home. It's very simple to do, and it's a very effective exam. So I really recommend that to any online students who really need to prove their English for some purpose, or just for themselves.
Fabulous. And finally, really from me, is to mention a little about student welfare and safeguarding, which is important when students are with us in our main school, but it's equally important when students are online. And safeguarding and welfare applies to all of our students, our under 18s, but of course all of the students, and we're particularly aware of this at the moment in the height of a pandemic. We have a lot of online safety measures to do with Zoom, and students having their cameras on, students not having to have a code to enter. Adam will mention a little more about this in a second. We have welfare checks. We check on the students. We have a weekly welfare meeting to check on the welfare, and all of our teachers are trained in safeguarding and welfare in order to recognise any signs of change while on the screen. If a student is perhaps not acting or not looking the same as they usually do, maybe they're quieter, maybe they're noisier, maybe they're missing classes. So we have measures in place to alert us to that and how to deal with possible safeguarding issues. And I think one of the things with safeguarding and welfare is to make sure again that people feel included and there is interaction. That's why we have our social programme there. Jo is always available, and Jo is always interacting with the students online as well as face to face, so she knows them well. And again, I think Jo mentioned before about screen time, and that comes under welfare and well-being. And a lot of our activities, teachers again are trained in how to move activities away from the screen, to bring movement into the online class, to have brain breaks where they can switch off, where they can energise themselves a little. So it's about communication, and it's about creating a safe and open environment so that students have a positive, memorable experience with us. So rest assured, no matter what age your student is, we are looking after them and their welfare. Adam, I mentioned the technical features. Could you elaborate a little on what we use?
Absolutely. Because of course, as you said, Fiona, it's so important that we maintain high levels of safeguarding and child protection, from my point of view, because I'm the juniors operations manager, but for everybody we need safeguarding. So one of the things that we do is every student that comes to the school, we have a speaking assessment. They have to do a placement test, but we also have at least 5 minutes talking to them face to face to make sure they are the person that they say they are. This is especially important with the kids, because we don't want any adults getting into the kids' courses. All of our classes have individual codes. They are set up centrally here, so the teacher's not involved in that. That means that we in the school, the academic management, can keep control of who's in which class and where everybody is. We share work, not through email, but through Edmodo, which is a site, it's a little bit like a kind of Facebook for schools, where the teacher can post things. The students can email each other or to the teacher or the whole school or the whole group, but they don't have to share any contact information. So it keeps everybody safe that way as well. And every class on Zoom has waiting rooms. So when people join the class, the teacher can decide if that student is supposed to join or not. Our students get a little guide. They also have a video to watch that tells them the things that we expect from them when they are learning with us online.
Lovely, that's super. And so finally, you know, if you're not convinced by all of our talks, then come along or get your students to come along. We have a taster lesson booked if you would like to try our classes, or if you would like to encourage your students to try. Wednesday the 9th, that's next week, we have a 20-minute taster lesson. So do come along, do encourage your students. I think Adam was talking about the juniors and the fact that we have part-time courses, and juniors very often, or parents, they do think, oh, you know, my kid's always on the screen, but they can come and they can try us for just one evening at £20 for one evening. This is not the taster, but this is the actual course, and guaranteed, more so than not, the students will then sign up. So if you've got students who want to try, then we have a free taster lesson next week, and also on Wednesday, the 6th of January. And these are both for, you can see these are both for juniors. Next week, we're looking at courses for juniors, global issues and universal challenges, and such things as environmental issues, well-being for the 21st century. And then in January, we have a young leaders sample course. So if you have any students 11 to 17 years old who would like to sign up for this, then do get in touch. We'll put details out in the newsletter for you on that. But if you haven't tried us already, I would say really, I know we've given you a lot of information, but do give online a go if this is not what you've been doing so far. They really are successful and great fun for students of all ages. And before we move to some questions, if you've got any questions, we're just going to again play you a little clip. This is a student who is telling you herself the experiences of learning online. So Adam's just going to share this with us now. Here we go.
Hi, I am Theo and I attended the workshop at the Wimbledon School of English. When I thought about signing in, I had plenty of options to choose from, like filmmaking, social media, architecture, law, medicine, and so much more. But I chose public speaking, presentations, and debate as it fits my desire the best. In these 6 weeks, I learned what to do and not to do while debating, how to do a presentation, and how to deliver a great speech. Through this workshop, I made international friends that share the same passions as me. The teachers were very welcoming and helpful, and I really learned from them. Now, I do not feel shy or pressured to speak up and say what I'm thinking. I know how to prove my point with strongly based arguments, and I learned how to enjoy speaking in English. It was an amazing experience, and I surely will never forget it.
Oh, sorry, camera's off. There we are. Isn't she fabulous? And she is one of many. Believe me, the feedback, I can't stress that enough. It's just been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure for all of us to know that students have really enjoyed our courses throughout this year. And these are here to stay. We have realised that this is a real skill that we have at Wimbledon School of English, to deliver such high-end courses for all sorts of students and all sorts of courses. So again, I do say, give us a go, try it out. If you need any more information, we're all here for you. Now, there aren't any questions in the chat room, but if anyone has any questions, then please write something in, and we can give you any more information. I know we've given you a lot of information at the moment. We will send you this recording. It is early in the morning for us, so excuse if we've got a sleepy face, but you will get this recording sent to you along with our online brochure and our teacher's brochure as well. Sjors, June, Joe, Adam, is there anything else you would like to add while we see if there's any questions coming in?
I think maybe just to mention the number of extensions and rebookings that we've had. So many students, you know, signed up to us just for a week or 2 weeks, and they really weren't sure about online classes. And what we found is that many of our students have just booked again and again and again, and some of them have ended up doing, you know, several months with us when they only booked a couple of weeks initially. So I think that's a real testament to the success of the classes and how effective they are. And as Fiona said, the feedback has just been incredible, and particularly praising the interaction, and as Theo said, the making international friends and meeting so many different people from around the world without having to leave their homes and without having to, you know, have all the stress of travel in these times that perhaps they don't want to risk it, but they still get to have that international experience. And I think that's just fantastic for all of them.
Yeah, completely. You see lifelong friends being made, I think, in these classes, don't you? I went into one of the social events a couple of weeks ago, and one of our students she was just saying how delighted she was, and she was based in Wimbledon, she was in quarantine, she was online, and she was dying to come into school to see us afterwards because she just loved her experience so much. I believe we've also had a student that travelled over in the summer having been online. So, you know, you never know, this might encourage people to start travelling once things get easier, but this is the way forward. So we will be continuing with a whole range of online courses from now. It's been a really good experience for us, and hopefully for you as well if you've been sending your students to us. Well, I think with that, we can release you. Thank you for your concentration. I'm aware we've given you lots of information, we've spoken quickly, but thank you very much everyone for joining, and do get in touch if you need anything else from us. Thank you. Have a good day.